Hey everyone, today we will explain The Recruit, directed by Alexi Hawley. It follows a legal counselor at the CIA who gets trapped in hazardous global power legislative issues. The Recruit starts in a cold scene where a few agents are completing an assault on Russian fighters. During the mission, Owen Hendricks saw the Russian power's trucks and informed a U.S. administrator, who encouraged him to keep off the channel because he was a legal counselor. The scene moves to about 14 days earlier from this operation when Owen gets a call from the General Counsel, Nyland guided him to go to the Senate Intelligence Service and illuminate them that they would need to keep Senator Smoot from perusing a grouped paper at a public meeting. Owen must be the scapegoat to move toward Mr. Smoot and tell him not to read the report, but rather Smoot was resolute. Owen needed to caution him that viewing classified material was an infringement of 18 U.S. Code 798. Owen's technique brought about the ideal result and he demonstrated his productivity in just 2 days. Violet and Lester, his collaborators, became envious of him and conveyed him a large number of gray mail. Owen's consideration was attracted to a case wherein a resource named Max Meladze, who was detained in Phoenix, took steps to uncover private data about Shelby Shaw and P.W. Butcher in the event that the CIA didn't help with clearing her record. Owen started examining and gained from a sleepyhead SOG operator, Janice, that P.W. Butcher is a code name in which P.W. implied the working site and Butcher was the name of the operation. P.W. Butcher was a 2009 operation in Belarus, and Shelby Shaw was a DO official named Dawn Gilbane that dealt with the operation in Belarus. Owen likewise observed that there was not a chance for a resource to know the operation and the official's code name, and assuming Max Meladze truly knew the names, she might be a CIA specialist or a hip pocket resource whose records and the case official's ID wouldn't be accessible. When Owen learned of current realities, he cautioned Nyland, who taught him to proceed with the investigation. Yet as per records, Dawn Gilbane was in Yemen, so Owen wanted to fly there to find solutions to his inquiries. Meanwhile, we see Owen's flatmates, who were potentially his graduate school colleagues. One of them, Hannah, who was likewise his ex, was working at a law office. Owen didn't let them know where he planned to keep the case classified, and we found that Owen's mother, who continued to contact Hannah, had no clue her child was working for the CIA because he hadn't conversed with her in 6 months. Owen left for Yemen promptly toward the beginning of the day and experienced a tragedy he was not ready for. He showed up at Dawn's den in Yemen, where her men captured him since they suspected him of being a mole. Dawn arose and asked if he was pretending to be a dope because there was no link traffic when he showed up and he had no diplomatic help either. He didn't have a black passport, which would have conceded him conciliatory security. Owen acknowledged he had been tricked, as his colleagues didn't actually enlighten him. Dawn tied him up and plucked off one of his fingernails so Owen could uncover his real identity. When Dawn went to take out another fingernail, Owen got frightened and gave a speech about how his father, a tactical warrior, was exploded in Afghanistan and his mother told him not to follow this way, yet he needed to do it at any cost, so he joined the CIA as a legal counselor. But when the data about old operation in Belarus showed up, he figured it would be an extraordinary experience. Dawn left him and informed him about Max Meladze. Owen got back to Langley, exceptionally depleted from the torture he faced in Yemen. When he went to his house, he got a call from Nyland, who needed to promptly see him. Nyland had not requested that he travel to Yemen anyway. However, now that Owen had visited Dawn, Nyland was dazzled. Therefore, taking into account Max was a fundamental asset for the CIA, he requested Owen to go to Phoenix to talk with her. Owen showed up at the jail in Phoenix and gained from a jailer that Max had viciously killed a transporter named Salvatore Quitney, for which she had been captured. Owen met Max Meladze and after a couple of moments, he comprehended she was clever and misleading. She enlightened him concerning the secretive operations records she had and that she had placed the materials in an extra space. Adhering to Max's directions, Owen went to a storage locker and took a sack out, yet a few hooligans tracked down him with the pack and pursued him down to get it, yet when they opened the sack, an acid flash that Max had kept inside harmed their faces. Owen found cash clinched, yet he didn't let Max know where it was kept and cautioned her that the pack would be gone over to the police. Thus, Max advised him that she had profoundly delicate records relating to the CIA's covert activities and that assuming anything ended up Max or somebody endeavored to kill her, she would deliver those details to the media. She misled Owen by keeping him from calling Nyland and requesting that he help with clearing her record with the FBI. Otherwise, she was unable to help Owen in getting those files. Yet, Owen needed to leave, guaranteeing that he would have rather not helped a killer like her. So Max let him know her last words. Her handler's name was not Bob. Owen got back to Langley's office and ran into Janice, who had nodded off once more and failed to remember what day it was. Owen encouraged him to tell him of Not Bob's real identity, and Janice informed him that everybody at the CIA knew who Not Bob was and that he was presently head of staff to the President of the U.S. Nyland reached Owen again to ask about the gathering he had with Max. However, Owen seemed, by all accounts, to be maintaining a few secrets from him and just told him that this case was conceivable and Max had some information concerning the CIA, so Nyland trained him to continue to investigate. Owen went to his office and reached Max at the Phoenix prison to find out if he could trust her, and Max guaranteed him that he could, provided that their advantages were coordinated. Along these lines, Owen let Max know that he would help her in eradicating her record, and Max began to believe in him. Why did Owen want to help Max despite the fact that he thought she was unimaginably manipulative? He discovered that her handler was no common investigator, yet rather a man who was presently the president's head of staff.